It's the penultimate game of the season and the last away trip, and Liverpool has a job to do. Welcome to Marching Reds. I am Amanjima, and here I am to preview the game between Aston Villa and Liverpool, going to be played at the Villa Park in the Premier League, and it has a lot riding on it from Liverpool's perspective. So let's look at it from different perspectives. Liverpool are currently fourth in the table. Aston Villa are currently fifth in the table with the same number of points, and it's the goal difference which is in the favor of Arne Slot's team, which is making sure that we are just pipping the Midlands team in the table. But I mean, looking at the season, Aston Villa have a big game coming up in the midweek next week, which is their Europa League final. And I'm hoping that they have all their eyes, not even some, all of their eyes set on that particular game. And hopefully they would be resting their big players. But again, that is just a fantasy that I can think of. Having said this, I do expect them to name a strong 11. The reason is because that is going to be their last home game of the season. And credits to Unai Emery and the way that they've played throughout the season, having not, I think, scored a goal or won a game in the first 7, 8 games, if I'm not wrong. And then going on to that incredible winning streak and finding themselves in the position they are, which is like right on the brink of Champions League in both competitions, in the table as well, in the Premier League, and as well as qualifying through Europe as well. So massive credits to them. Although there is one complaint that I have as a Liverpool fan is the fact that the way they have treated Harvey Elliott, because I mean he was the diamond of our team during the Jurgen Klopp time especially, and although he was used sporadically by Arne Slot because he has his own way of trusting and selecting that 15-16 core set of players. When that move was finalized in the summer, I was happy for the guy because in this particular setup, or at least the way it was shaping up to be, you could see that maybe Harvey Elliott would not be as used as the way he was used so frequently, especially during the last few years of Jurgen Klopp. And then, I mean, whenever a player like this leaves your team, you do feel sad because you do have a certain affiliation with that player. But for the guy, for the player, like you just hope that this turns out to be a much needed move. But having said so, it was completely the opposite. And I'm sure that, all the parties could have handled this better. But barring this small thing, I have to come back to the game, which is the fact that Liverpool, who drew against Chelsea last game, and with Bournemouth winning against Fulham, the race is still wide open. We have still not secured a Champions League spot yet. Although with the victory, with those 3 points here, we can be certain of a Champions League spot next season. Although we'll have to wait till the last game of the season to actually see where we end up finishing. But it is as crystal clear as it gets, the fact that we need to put in a proper performance. We need to put in those hard yards which were lacking against Chelsea. And I mean, the prize is right there for you. Instead of dragging this whole thing to the last game where we would be either way emotional because of a certain set of players who are leaving and who have been the legends of the game for us, especially. You want to get the job done in this one. And I mean, with all due respect to Aston Villa, and only then you would be able to focus on the last Brentford game in a different way. Of course, looking at the injury status and the availability of players, there has been no certainty over the fitness of like Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz, and even for that matter, Alisson. And like those will be those 50-50 calls. And I mean, when I'll be making my lineup, I will be giving the alternatives for these players as well. Ibrahima Konate is supposedly fit. Mohamed Salah might not be a 90-minute man right now, but as per Arne Slot's last comments, he would be available to at least play a certain role. So you would expect him to come on later in the second half and maybe get that last thunderous applause of the away traveling fans. And Allison, as I've said, 50-50 call. Florian Wirtz missed out the Chelsea game, is again a 50-50 call. And Mamadashvili, who was announced in the lineup against Chelsea and I think had a decent enough game, I think he would be starting in goal. So for me, in the lineup, it would be Mamadashvili in goal. In the back four, Andy Robertson would get a start. I mean, nothing against Milos Kerkez, but like these last few games, you need to give our Scotsman as many minutes as you can on the pitch. And yeah, it's more of an emotional thing rather than a tactical thing. So he starts for me. Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate will be those two centre backs. Curtis Jones in that right back position would be the option for me. And although he, again, there were moments in the Chelsea game where he was found out, and there was like this ploy that Chelsea deployed. The fact that they were able to find Marco Correa time and again behind Curtis Jones and Ibrahima Konate. And I think similarly, if Matty Cash plays or Lucas Digne plays, I think the tactic would be the same. The fact that they could easily target that area with Morgan Rogers operating as that left attacker, left center attacker. And if Watkins starts or if Tammy Abraham starts, there would be a clear cut passage of goal for them. Like get the ball in and maybe with a cross or like a cutback, they can target our goal. So I think to counter that, instead of changing things tactically or formational wise, you just have to remain switched on. Because I mean, I think in the second half of the Chelsea game, you saw Frimpong coming back and Curtis Jones being pushed a little further, but even that did not work because although it was an offside goal, we did end up conceding a good chance. And luckily the lines were in favor of us. So I mean, you just need to stay switched on. You just need to stay aware of like what the potential threats are of this team. And I mean, yeah, you need to handle those defensive situations, which has been a complaint and a bane for us this season. So it's the same old thing. And yeah, you just hope that at least with this week off, the fact that we had, I think, 6 days off, we played our game early on Saturday. So you would be hoping at least a better performance than what we saw against Chelsea. So in the midfield for me, it would be Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister, and Dominic Soboslai. And up top, I would give another start to Ruan Gamoa. If Alexander Isak is fit, I would like to see him start. And in the right wing position, it has to be Jeremy Frimpong, who did not have a good game against Chelsea, according to me, and I expect a lot out of him. And yes, I understand he's not the most defensive winger or wing back, but at least in terms of the output he has recently shown in those offensive areas, that could improve a lot. So yeah, that is what I'm hoping for. If you provide good service, good quality service to a poacher like Alexander Isak, from the likes of Rio, Soboslai just being stationed behind him, and with Frimpong on the other flank, you would end up seeing our number 9 being more involved. And the other options are, of course, to get Cody Gakpo either on the left flank or as the striker position. And if Florian Wirtz is there, he would definitely get a start for me. And with Chiesa, with Trainioni, I would like to see these players come on too. But I think in this one, until unless we are leading 3-0, let's say around 60-70 minute mark, I think that won't be the case. And if they do come on, that would mean that hopefully we are in a much better position on that day. So this is how I would line up. And I mean, now it is just getting the job done. It is just making sure that you cross the line in the most professional way possible. I mean, I don't want to harp about the results that we were not able to get, the fact that we drew against Tottenham, that Wolves lost, those home games against Leeds and Burnley where we drew. And I mean, if you add those points up, it could be a fairy tale of us competing for the title. But, you know, there's a reason why you have to be aware with the reality. And the reality is that we need a maximum of 3 points. So instead of me hoping for a Bournemouth loss against Manchester City, which would be possible, mind you not, but I would rather want to feel much better in the next set of 24-36 hours, because it is still in our hands and we can get it done by putting in a good shift, by at least making sure that we do a job properly. So that is what I'm hoping for. And what happens in the summer, again, there is no point in me speculating right now, because there is a lot of noise, there is a lot of unwanted things, or like unwanted headlines which people are looking for. And for me, the way I'm approaching it is, we've got two games, we've got to make sure that we get Champions League. We've got to make sure that we give a proper tribute to the likes of Mohamed Salah and Andy Robertson. And let's see how I'm feeling, or how we as fans are feeling, because the collective boos, especially at the full time whistle and the half time whistle, although I won't be taking much looking into the fact that when Rio got subbed off, they were boos as well, because again, you could understand that from a fan's perspective, he was the greatest spark. And once you take him off, when you are not chasing the game, but at that 1-1 situation, when you are looking for a goal, you take off that player. And Arne Slot just giving that slight smirk, because he knew that Rio wasn't feeling his best and he needed to come off. So you could understand the perspectives of both sides in this one. But the more concerning fact would be the deafening noise of the boos at the halftime and the full time whistle. So I think that is something that clearly shows, at least to the Liverpool hierarchy, that the way that we've been playing football this season is not up to the mark. Yes, results can go other way. Like, I'm sure, at least even in the Jurgen Klopp era, especially in the beginning and when we had those off seasons, there were moments where, like, we looked completely out of control, where it wasn't clicking. But at least the brand of football that we were playing, that was getting us back to be excited about this team whenever they got a chance to play. And that is something that I feel is now not as much there from a Liverpool fan. So I think that needs addressing. But even speaking as a fan, we need to be together for this game. We need to be together till the last game, and collectively take a step forward. And no matter in what form it may be, but for now, and as we've done in this season, we need to stick together and make sure that we cross the line in the most best way possible. So you let me know in the comment section what your lineups are going to be. I am personally excited to see if Rio, Isaac, and Frimpong are able to link up, and maybe one of the midfield three gets a rest, and you get to see Florian Wirtz as well. So those are the things that I'm looking forward to in this game. Let me know your score predictions, and let me know if you think Liverpool are able to finalize the Champions League spot in this game, or maybe because of Bournemouth slipping up, or do you think it will be going down to the last day? So let me know what you think. I'll definitely have a look. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care.